Welcome. I'm Ed. I'm your host of Free Circle Fireside, where you will get truth with integrity, insight that's right, and we love people helping people. So let's get into it today. Enjoy the discussion. Let's roll with it. Welcome to the live 9/11 morning show. I'm going to step up and put out a tribute to all the lives that were lost back in 2001 on this somber day. This day that will go down in infamy. It is an infamous day, and we have to realize what, why, how, where, when, who. All these are questions and they hurt to even ask. Why should we have to ask? Well, the answer to that is simple. So you know the truth, my friends. Because the truth makes everything right, no matter what we're dealing with. So, like I said, this is a live show, and it's not perfect when it's live. We're not one to script things out. We don't edit very well. We just go with the flow. And we like to talk about the hard issues. So we're going to get into that and see what the heck we find today. I've been going through some facts about 9/11. It's all over the internet. You're going to find facts about 9/11. But the number one fact that I want to bring out first of all, before I go into any of this, is it's been 17 years. You know, you realize 17 years is a long time. You realize next year is the 18th year, and those individuals that were born without a mother or a father or somebody that their life was lost during those attacks in Washington, New York, and Shanksville. You have to realize these kids grew up with the hurt, the pain, and the suffering of what they fell into as a consequence of 9/11. They're going to vote next year. And this generation of new voters, they have been affected mentally, physically, through the world over 9/11. You're going to see a dramatic change in laws and how things are done with this shift in the voters. You have to realize when a person deals with something all their life and it's bombarded in their head time and time again, it's gonna really take toll on how they vote. It's important to realize that. So the timing is just so coincidental with everything else that's happening in the world, but we'll tie that into a different show. This is about 9/11 in particular, and we'll stick with that. I don't want to digress to a different subject. So, on 9/11, almost 3,000 people were killed. 400 of them were either police officers or firefighters. The attacks on the World Trade Center, Pentagon, and the plane crash near Shanksville took 3,000 lives almost. So that's incredible. That's a lot of life lost in, boom, a flash of a second. On 9/11 was not the first terrorist attack on the World Trade Center. In 1993, 6 people were killed in a bombing in February of 1993. And you can look into that. That's interesting in itself. On any given workday, up to 50,000 employees worked in the World Trade Center. And an additional 40,000 passed through that complex each day. So, let's think about that, just for a slight second. It happened early, and for some reason, hardly anybody was out and about. Coincidental? Almost 3,000 people were killed. Yet, during the day, up to 50,000 people worked inside the buildings. And an additional 40,000 were traversing through the complex area. That is a miracle, or something else. It's just incredible to think if that would have happened possibly an hour later, how much more life would have been lost. It's incredible to think about those numbers. Only 3,000 lost their lives, when up to 50,000 or 90,000 possibly could have lost their lives. That's incredible, just in itself. After the September 11th attacks on the World Trade Center, the rescue and recovery cleanup of the 1.8 million tons of wreckage from the World Trade Center site took only 9 months. The way they shuffled it out and got things cleaned up was interesting. So passengers aboard United Flight 93 heard about the previous airplane attacks and attempted to retake control of the plane from the hijackers. As a result, the hijackers deliberately crashed the plane in a Pennsylvania field instead of their unknown target. It's interesting. If you were there and you were up and you were watching, imagine the sights. I was in Salt Lake City, and I watched the second plane hit the towers on television. The devastation and the, like, what the heck is going on, hit me. Well, that day was just wow. And it didn't take long. Didn't take long at all to identify the hijackers and all their accomplice. It's interesting. You know, they found who was it? the one terrorist, the lead terrorist, they were finding passports and wallets and identifications of these terrorists that were still unaffected, unburnt. I want you to think about this for just 1 second. You can go on and you can watch the plane hit that tower. This is hard to take when you find items laying on the ground that should have been burnt up. I'm no expert and I'm slightly assuming here, so please forgive me for my own thought patterns. But these are questions, and if you're afraid to ask the questions, we're not America anymore. Why can't we have discussion on how we feel? The time is now. It's 17 years since that happened. Next year, what is going to happen is you're going to flood the voting booth with people that were affected by 9/11. Now, what's going to happen is the amount of people that were affected by 9/11 is actually going to increase, because now not only the parents or the people that lost life during that time, now the children that were small and being born at the time of 9/11, that's going to influx. That influx is going to affect how the votes go. And now you've got turmoil building in between the political parties. We are on dangerous, shaky ground in America, and I'm not afraid to say it. You've got political division, you've got social and economic division, and 9/11 is a big part of all of this, and we have to talk about it. We have to realize. If you want to get involved, get on the chat and let your voice be known. I'm live on Spreaker.com. Telephone in at 1-971-533-7805 if you'd like to discuss with us some of the things that happened during 9/11. Let me read that number again. 1-971-533-7805. We're always happy to take your call. Number 6 here. While video accounts of the World Trade Center attack aired immediately, no video footage of the Pentagon attack was publicly released until 2006. National security? Excuse the throat clear there. Number 7. Though both the police and fire departments of New York City had their own emergency response procedures, the two departments did not have a coordinated response plan to a major incident. That's important right there, people. We got to realize all of the training that has been occurring with this coordinated response since 9/11, and you're getting it in all of your response systems in local government, federal government, state government. they put together, what is that called? Oh, please forgive my mind here. The Community Response Team, CERT. Thank you, CERT. So these CERT teams, they were a response to 9/11 and how to coordinate a more effective response to events in an emergency situation. And what they did was they coordinated a effort between citizens and your first responders to adapt, and they would have people that they could use to identify and patrol and do the jobs that they needed them to do. But that networking and that structure that was built there is critical to understand also. You know, America is a free country and we are a republic, and we are losing all of those. We're starting to build these suspicious minds. We are starting to build this distrust in everybody and everything in America. And this is going to tear us down. This is going to make your enemies win. If you do not realize what is going on in front of you, it's too late. Next year, the voting polls are going to be majorly different. And if you do not spread the truth and awareness that needs to get put out about what happened truly on 9/11, we're done. Let's carry on. Number 8. In 2001, New York City fire evacuation procedures only required mandatory evacuations for floors immediately surrounding a fire after a plane struck Building 1 of the World Trade Center. Building 2 employees were initially told to stay in the building. That sucks, but that made a lot of people lose their lives, and if you remember, it wasn't pretty. Number 9. The attack on the World Trade Center on 9/11 resulted in the largest loss of life by an attack from a foreign entity on American soil. Number 10. 18 people were rescued alive from the rubble of the World Trade Center site. Remember that collapsed staircase that they were inside and everything fell around them? There was some amazing things that happened during 9/11. Number 11 here. Cases of post-traumatic stress are common among 9/11 survivors and rescue workers. Respiratory problems like asthma and lung inflammation also developed at abnormal rates for those in and around the World Trade Center during and after the attacks. Of course, if you saw how much debris came down and the particle dust that was just everywhere, it's incredible. 9/11 affected everybody in the world. Remember, it affected everybody. It changed the world. The world has been a suspicious, pat you down, take your rights away, ever since. We need to get a grip back on true Americanism and what it means. What we have created is a Nazi regime, and if you are afraid to admit it, that's your fault. That's how I see it. You have taken the liberty and the freedoms away from America, and you have put chains upon them. Not only on them, but their minds and their hearts. You have made them fear. Wake up, America. Your freedoms are about to be lost. If you don't claim your inherent rights, your unalienable rights that were given to you by your Creator, you're a human. You have the right to be. You don't have the right to be if you're causing problems with everybody else. We have to be in sync. We have to be truthful with each other and stop making everything about the dollar. That's truly what this is about. If you remember the day before 9/11, Donald Rumsfeld come out with that big, we don't even know where all this billion, I don't remember the big amount of money, just, it's lost, it's gone. Where did it go? Really, think people, where did that go? And then on that day, building number 7, where all the financial records were, think, people, really. You've got some vile people running America right now that need to be in check. And I don't mean Donald Trump, for all you Trump lovers and all you Obama haters, and I don't do the two sides. I'm an American. I see it how it is, right down the center. I look at both sides. And right now, they're both pretty disgusting. You're like baby food, slobbering down your chest, and you're ruining hearts and minds of millions of people. You're dividing America. What are you doing? Divisions are deep. 9/11, 17 years after 9/11, and here we are still wondering what really went on. I don't know. I'm not one to just be a conspiracy theorist, but if you dig deep and you do your work, you can find the truth. And it's disgusting when you find it. So, yeah, it's interesting. And then let's carry on a little bit further. During the Obama administration, you get the Joint Chiefs of Staff going before Congress, telling Congress, well, we really don't listen to Congress anymore. We listen to the United Nations and the world. We listen to the world more than we listen to Congress now. Go dig it up. It came out of Leon Panetta's mouth. It's disgusting. Now what you've got is you've got the ICC, International Criminal Courts, really pounding down. Did you see what Eric Bolton said? I don't know. I don't know. Is that his name? I'm sorry. Bolton. His last name's Bolton. He's the ambassador. Forgive me, his first name may have fled my mind. I am getting up there a little bit. Anyway, Bolton. Interesting words that came out of his mouth. and he was talking to the Federalist Society. People had better wake up. America is about to be lost. If you don't see all of the pieces of the puzzle that have been put together in some people's minds. I don't mean to hurt anybody. I don't want to talk bad. I don't want to assume anything. But I do want people to talk without fighting. Where's the facts? Put them on the table. And sit down and stop arguing. Facts are those things that can be verified. All the rest is just baby food, and that's what they're throwing around in Washington right now. Bunch of baby food. They don't... It's just sick. I think we need some adults in control of America. We need to start getting things done. And I would rather have the working class people making the rules and regulations for America than the people that have been up there doing it. Drinking champagne, eating caviar on our expense, and then yelling, "Oh, you feel entitled." Look in a mirror, people. Entitlement is Washington, D.C., and all of you bureaucrats in it. While children suffer in the street, old people suffer in the street. Have you walked down Skid Row? 9/11 affected everybody in America. Next year, it's really going to take a toll because of all of the deceitful, disgusting lies that have been coming out of our officials. Our moral compass is dumped. It's way off track. You're either with us or you're against us. George Bush, remember? Mission accomplished. Is it? What mission? It's all still going on. The lies, mismanagement. It's all got to stop. I don't know, it's time to wake people up. It's time to look at the hard facts, the true facts, not what has been fed to you. We the people, we are strong. Unite. Don't be divided. They are trying to cause a civil war so the United Nations troops can come in here. If you don't believe it, well, you're gonna just fall in line, aren't you? I don't say grab a gun and start shooting. That's ridiculous. I say grab a book and start reading, educating yourself. Start talking to your neighbors, understanding the true nature of how American people are feeling. Let's bring love to the polls instead of hate. You've got all of these politicians out there running their mouth right now. It's that time. Who are you going to listen to? What side? Or are you going to educate yourself? Become an independent voter. Stop this political rivalry. The left, the right. Let's all line up in the middle and keep it on kilter here. It's all because you want a big car, big house, and you want to feel that you're the one with the best of the best. While children starve, while you're putting on your socks and linens that were made, textiles that came from sweatshop laborers. Why did 9/11 happen? And why is there so much corporate interest in the world? When corporations run a GDP larger than some countries, we've got issues, people. There's too much isolated power, and there's a lot of monopolies happening again. Remember, we broke up the Standard Oil monopoly. We're not supposed to allow this to happen. You're seeing it in the internet realm too. All of these carriers, they're all going down to one. It's all about control instead of concern. Get out of people's houses, their lives, and their families, and start protecting people you vowed to protect. Or get out of the position and let somebody with a caring mind in it. 9/11, it's a day that will be infamous forever now. And what I want you guys to remember about 9/11 is what really happened. Are you willing to go there? Or are you just so scared that you're willing to take anything for an answer as long as it comes from an expert? Okay. Wow, people. It's getting pretty ridiculous out there. So, are we going to wake up? Or are we going to dissolve the Union of America? You're about to enter a civil war here. You're about to go into isolation that you've never seen. China and Russia are meeting again today. The BRICS nations, they're about to dump the dollar. And we have wronged people enough. They can't depend on America anymore because of the two parties. Yeah, 4 years, 12 years. How long are we going to deal with this? And then it's going to flip-flop and change. See, there's too much of this division going on. Do we want to be one united America? Or are we going to divide up into small, separate, warring fashion states? That's the way it's looking to me. And I'm not afraid to say it. My opinion is my opinion. And I don't have all the facts. But by God, I'm willing to dig in and learn. I want the facts. I want to know what happened. I don't want to take the word of one individual. We've been deceived and lied to way too much from government, and that's why we can't trust government. We need to bring trust back to we the people, because we the people are the government. We are the power, not the government. And no matter what they say, we have put people in place that are taking advantage of the system, using it for monetary gain and control. If you don't see it, you're already lost. But you're about to enter a civil war because people are tired. It's time to start talking the hard talk. getting the truth out. And stop fighting amongst yourselves. See, if you bring a true fact up and somebody is stabbing that fact, trying to get it out of sight, that's probably the person that's got something to hide. So, gotta grow up, own up. It's just the way it is. That's America today. I want to thank you for our 9/11 special here. Hard talk, hard fact, hard truth. I have integrity when I bring it because I want people to speak up. I want their opinions. I want to know the truth. Well, that's it for another Free Circle Fireside. Thank you for joining us. You can find us on the web at freecircle.website. You can join in on the live shows or leave a message and we'll get your voice out over the message. The call-in line is 971-533-7805. Join Free Circle, get your voice out, and thank you for joining the Fireside. Ed, Free Circle, out.